Hey guys, back with another video for you today, and today I'm discussing with you three of the most dirtiest, skankiest, and most animalic oud fragrances that I've sampled in the past. Those are Oud 27 from Labo, The Night from Frederic Malle, and Le Clips from Fong Dang. You're also going to have a chance at winning a sample of each of these for 3 different subscribers of this channel from the USA, all coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time on this channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, discovering new fragrances, finding out about new brands, participating in giveaways, and still haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So I wanted to do a video of 3 of the skankiest, most dirtiest, most animalic oud fragrances that I've sampled here in San Francisco, where I can go to Barney's and buy these fragrances. So Barney's does sell lots of great fragrances. I love going to Barney's because they have some of the best niche fragrances in town. And they do carry Labo, of course, and they carry Frederic Malle, and then of course they also carry Fong Dang. I love oud fragrances, but sometimes oud fragrances can be repetitive or just, I don't know, just overdone. Like too many people have been doing oud, and a lot of people complain that they're not using real oud or authentic oud. So out of the 3 of these fragrances, I know that the Frederic Malle claims to use authentic real oud, but most likely Labo does as well, and then perhaps Fong Dang, because these are pretty pricey fragrances. I myself also love oud. I tend to not love overly animalic fragrances. When I first got into the fragrance hobby and you know, buying and reviewing and things like that, I was a lot more into strange or overly animalic fragrances. But as I sample more and more fragrances, my love for very, very animalic fragrances slowly kind of like decreases. I don't know what's causing that, but just my taste has changed. Most likely I will come back around to it. And as I've been experiencing these 3 fragrances, and I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite after I tell you all about all 3 of them. My first reaction to a couple of these fragrances were like, whoa, they're extremely skanky, extremely dirty, and very, very animalic. So I do like animalic, but I like them in little doses. I don't tend to love them, like overly love them. And I love oud fragrances, and I'm always willing to sample oud fragrances, but sometimes I get bored from oud fragrances. And the other thing also I think has to do with my decrease of liking or enjoying animalic fragrances is the heat. Heat waves are more frequent here in the city, and I tend to go for fresher fragrances. So when I sample like these really extra strong, intense beast mode animalic fragrances, when it's really cold outside, I really enjoy them a lot more than, of course, when it's really warm outside. But as I said, the heat waves have been increasing more frequently, and I have been enjoying them less and less. But that's pretty much my explanation of what I like and not like about animalic fragrances. I want to go ahead and start talking to you about the 3 fragrances, and we're going to start off with Labo. And so Labo's Oud 27, it was launched in 2009. This is it. It's considered an oriental woody fragrance. It comes in a 100 ml bottle like this for $270. There are other sizes. There's a 50 ml and there's a really big decanter bottle. The perfumer is Vincent Schaller. I don't know who he is personally. I haven't really experienced any of his fragrances in the past, but definitely know this one that he did for Labo. And Labo is actually a brand owned by Estee Lauder now. They have sold to Estee Lauder a few years ago. So for notes here, and I wasn't able to pick up all the notes. I looked everywhere, but I didn't want to grab the notes from one of the databases, so I went to their website. Here they have Agarwood, Cedar Atlas, Incense, Patchouli, black pepper, Saffron, and Gaïac. They do say that there's 20 additional notes that they haven't publicized. But when you go to like Fragrantica or something, you do see a big photo of a CIVET on there. So let's go ahead and spray this and I'll tell you all about it. This actually is very, very dry to me, but the Agarwood is pretty big. It also has a very vinegary kind of a smell to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but very laboratory if that makes sense. So there's no sweetness here in the fragrance, and I tend to like sweet things. I love sweet fragrances, and this one seems to be very, very dry, very, very cold, bit austere, and very, very animalic. So when I smell it, under it there's this like something citrusy, and I can't tell what that is because there's no mention of citrus notes. There's a very tart citrusy note in there that perhaps it's almost like lemon. It's a bit astringent, it's a sour, kind of things like that. So there is that in there, but the oud is pretty big. It's a really big oud note. And then also there's the civet. I think there's a civet note or something animalic in here. I'm not sure if they're using the real stuff here, but it's very, very animalic. And it's very, very woody, oudy, and earthy, dry, very, very dry. This one's probably the driest one out of the three, but everything beyond that citrus note that I'm picking up, which I don't know what it is, as I said, the tart, sour, astringent citrus note, is wet. But everything else is kind of dry to me. So I like this one, but I personally would not wear this one. I love the brand Le Labo, but this is not one of my favorite fragrances. I know that there are fans out there of this one, and they tend to go gaga over it. But for me, as I said, Le Labo is one of my favorite brands, but I don't care for Le Labo Oud 27 too much. I like it, but it's not one of those fragrances that I'm like, wow, what is that? What did I just smell? I want a bottle, if that makes sense. You might react completely differently. And if you like animalic fragrances, I highly recommend you try this one. If you like oud fragrances, I highly recommend you try Le Labo Oud 27. Up next is Frederic Malle's The Night, this one right here. So The Night was launched in 2014. It's considered an oriental woody fragrance. I mean, it is a 100 ml bottle. This is a 50 ml, which retails for $900, but a 100 ml bottle retails for $1,500. It does also come in a hair mist version, which I really, really love, and that retails for $650 for a 100 ml bottle. The perfumer here is Dominique Ropillon, and basically the writing on this bottle, as you can see, is in Arabic, and it translates to Al-Layl, which basically means the night in Arabic. So it doesn't say the night on there, it says Al-Layl, but that means the night. For notes, here you have rose and saffron at the top. In the heart you have 100% natural oud, and in the base notes you have frankincense and sandalwood. So let's go ahead and spray, and let me tell you a little bit about this. This is really beast mode, very, very potent. And also, if you're a fan of Dominique Ropillon's fragrances like Portrait of a Lady, things like that, and you love oud, animalic oud, this is one you have to absolutely try. You absolutely should get your nose on it, especially if you like oud, if you like animalic fragrances, Middle Eastern style fragrances, you like Portrait of a Lady, and you're a fan of Dominique Ropillon, this is a must. You must try it. You must get a sample somehow if you can. Go to a Barney's store that carries this, because not all Barney's stores do carry it. They don't have this listed on the Barneys.com website, so I had to go to Frederic Malle's website to get the information. I highly recommend it because I'm a huge fan of Portrait of a Lady, and I love everything that Dominique Ropillon does. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it does start off with rose and saffron at the top. It's actually right away sweet to me. The rose acts very sweet, not overly sweet, like it's not like candy sweet, but compared to the Le Labo, which is really, really dry, this right away starts off very, really sweet from that rose. Saffron tends to be a little dry to me, but that rose kind of like a warmth, it adds this like beautiful warmth a sweet warmth to the fragrance. And at this time, I'm smelling things like, oh wow, there's got to be some influence here or inspiration from Portrait of a Lady, because it does have light hints of that kind of fragrance underlying. Even though when you smell the oud in the heart, the 100% natural oud that comes in the heart, under it I get like little hints of like something like Portrait of a Lady, because he created this fragrance. And perhaps it's the frankincense that's in here that kind of reminds me a little bit of the Portrait of a Lady, because there's a frankincense or incense in Portrait of a Lady. But this is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's dirty, but it's not as dirty to me as the Labo. I don't see them listing CIVET in the notes here on Frederic Malle. So what we're dealing with here is completely just the oud or the agarwood that they're using, the 100% natural oud. That's why it's so expensive, because oud itself is really, really expensive. And a lot of fragrances that advertise oud, especially the designer ones, usually probably are using synthetic oud or notes that can create to smell like oud, but they're not like true, real, all natural oud that they claim. So that's why this fragrance is so expensive. It's also a fragrance released for the Middle Eastern market. So, but some Barneys, and I think all Frederic Malle stores do carry them, but that's pretty much the extent of it. Like I've been seeing Frederic Malle pop up at Neiman Marcus, so I doubt this is available at Neiman Marcus stores. I think it's strictly a Barneys thing. But if I was going to pick one of the two I've talked to you about so far, hands down, it's the Frederic Malle. And both of these brands are now owned by Estee Lauder. So these two are Estee Lauder owned brands. But I much prefer the Night or Al-Layel. Not only because of that rose and the spiciness and the incense that kind of hints at Portrait of a Lady, but because this smells gorgeous. It smells truly gorgeous. And with this one, $900 for a 50 ml, you only need a tiny spray of it to last you like a whole day. It is so strong. It's so beast mode. And what I like about the hair mist, it's no alcohol. That's why it's called a hair mist. So it's the same fragrance pretty much, but without the alcohol. That's why there's this cloudiness in here, as you can see. It's the, I don't know, that's what happens with kind of fragrances that are without, what do you call it, the alcohol in it. But with the Night's hair mist, it's even lighter, like it's totally light. It's 100 ml for $650. So if you've been thinking you want to get the Night, it's too expensive, and the 500 ml, as I said, is $900. The hair mist version is $650. It's much cheaper. So you can get a slightly lighter version of it and not only wear it on your body and skin, but you can wear it on your hair as well, which won't damage it, but if you wear this one on your hair, it'll damage it. But that's pretty much it for Frederic Malle's The Night. I love this one. It's my favorite so far. So the next one is from Fong Dang called Li Clips. This is a 2018 launch. It's considered an oriental woody fragrance again. A 100 ml bottle like this retails for $750. And the perfumer is Bertrand Duchaufour. Now here we have lots of different notes. We got at the top, agreste, aldehydes, bergamot, coriander seeds. Heart notes, you have carnation, rose, lapsang souchong, geranium, mimosa absolute, and in the base you have ambergris, cistus absolute, musk patchouli, oak moss, Indian oud, styrax, pyrogene, civet absolute, jatmansi is what it says for the last note. So this one actually claims that there is civet in the notes, whereas there was no civet claimed in the Frederic Malle The Night or La'ayel, and then there is no civet claimed, well, at least they didn't list it for the Le Labo. Now this one is not as dry as Le Labo, but also not as sweet as the Frederic Malle from my testing that I did. It smells animalic, but there's a lot going on here. It does have this floral touches to it, but everything seems to be a lot drier than The Night. But there's this warmth and little kind of like balminess to it because it's not as dry as the Le Labo. But it doesn't have that citrus touch that the Le Labo does. This one is a different twist to both of these. It's completely different. But it is very animalic. I could smell that oud is really, really potent. It's beast mode. And lots going on. You do pick up some of the aldehydes here. It's bright. Some of the citruses and the spicy notes in the top. The rose does pop in. Here we have rose again. And I love rose in fragrances. And rose and oud go hand in hand, like I've mentioned many times. It works wonderful here, and it's pleasant. It's pretty potent, but not as potent as some of the civet and the oud note that's in here. And then in the base, you've got the ambergris, and then of course the labdanum, which gives it this ambery touch to it. Lots of oak moss, and the oud is big. Now, if I was to pick, this is my second favorite, and my favorite is The Night or Al-Layel from Frederic Malle. But Le Labo's one is tough for me. As I said, I have had a difficult time with that one. Maybe because I love the brand so much and I have so many of their other fragrances. This is my opinion on these fragrances, guys. You might react completely different. So if you're at all into the Animalic Ouds or just in Ouds general, or even Rose and Oud combos with the Frederic Malle, the Night, or this Eclipse from Fong Dang, I highly recommend you go check them out and sample them. I know San Francisco has the Night. Most likely the other two will be at all the Barneys. I'm assuming the Night will also be available in New York, maybe even Southern California, Beverly Hills, but we do also have a Frederic Malle store in the Southern California as well, so you can probably go check it out. And other than that, you might have to just buy samples from somebody or buy a decant that somebody's doing. I like the three. I don't love Le Labo. I like the Night the most, and of course Le Eclipse is you know, second. Still, I think the Frederic Malle, the Night, is awesome. It's like probably miles ahead of the other two. I hate to say that, but there's something about the Night that is just absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the best fragrances. Well, I shouldn't say the best fragrances. I'm not sure if it is an excellent release. It's probably one of the best oud fragrances, like very Middle Eastern style oud fragrances. So do check this one out, guys. Let me know. And also let me know, what do you think about these three fragrances? Have you tested them out? Do you like the Le Labo Oud 27? Do you like Al Layel or the Night from Frederic Malle? Or do you like L'Eclipse from Fong Dang? Let me know which is your favorite. And also, now it's time for the giveaway. Do you want to participate in the giveaway to win a sample of all three of these? We have 3 winners thanks to Barneys. This is going to be sent by Barneys San Francisco. So if you're ever here in San Francisco, please visit the store and go see some of my favorite sales associates there. They'll take care of you. They'll help you out with whatever you need. Go see Christina, and she's very nice. She knows a lot about the fragrances and so forth. So it's thanks to them. They're doing the giveaway for these fragrance samples. Please put a comment down. Let me know what your favorite oud fragrance is, and let me know what your favorite animalic fragrance is. Also, please put your state. This is a USA giveaway only, guys. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts on these 3 fragrances. Do you, in general, like animalic fragrances? Do you like oud fragrances? Please put a comment down. Let's get a conversation started. Also, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.